Hello, everyone. I'm back. This is your girl Jenna, and today we're going to talk about Cassie filing a $13 million lawsuit against her ex, P. Diddy Combs, Sean Combs, whatever you want to call him. Okay. So before we get started, make sure you thumbs up this video. Also, make sure you subscribe and make sure you comment. Cut those notifications on as well. Okay. So, uh, I was deeply surprised, okay, because we're just coming off the huge uh tea or huge tea about Will Smith, okay, even though we kind of already sort of kind of seen that already, but just the new things that's coming out on Tasha K's channel. We were just coming down from that, and then boom, we got this little bit of tea, which is a huge situation. You're talking about almost 20 years old. Okay, 20 years old. This stuff is between almost, it's like 18 years old between Cassie and Diddy. And Cassie is married, she's married with children, she's moved on with her life. So, what made her decide to do this, we shall not know. But of course, you can't talk about this situation without bringing up Miss Kim Porter. And oh my gosh, there's so many rumors going on about Sean Diddy Combs and Pete and Kim Porter and what he did to her and how he treated her. So we're just going to loosely go over the court documents, which is public knowledge, guys. You can go and look that up on your own time and actually thoroughly read them. But I'm just going to basically peruse it a little bit and discuss what is in the documentation, which is actually 35 pages. Okay. So defendant Sean Combs is a rapper and record executive, and this is a preliminary statement, and record executive, popularly known by his stage names Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, or Diddy, Mr. Combs, came to fame in the early 90s with his record label Bad Boy Records. Okay. He rose to prominence in the music and entertainment industry over the decades and is regularly referred to as a hip hop mogul. Yes, he's a talent scout. Yes, talented brother, but he got some hidden things going on about him. He has a temper. There's so many things going on that's out there that said that he has a temper. With all of his girlfriends, he's very possessive. Okay, he doesn't like people to move on from him, and he will do what he needs to do. This is all alleged. Okay, allegedly he will he doesn't like to be told no. He doesn't like to be let down. He doesn't like anybody to not you know deal with him or say, look, I'm done. Okay. So in 2022, Mr. Combs received the Lifetime Achievement Award at the BET Awards. During the acceptance speech, Mr. Combs stated, I have to give a special shout out, thank you, love, to the people that was really there for me. He named a number of people before adding also in Cassie for holding him down in the dark times. So it looks like now that he's older, he's looking back, he's probably going over how many times he could have been in other places. His father, I don't know if you guys know this or not, his father used to be a big kingpin or was a kingpin. I don't know if he was a kingpin before he was born or whatever, but when Sean Diddy Combs was young, his father actually lost his life to the game. Okay. So I feel like he really wanted to be different than his dad. He wanted to have a business that was legal. He didn't want to basically go down that same path as his dad. But unfortunately, unless you really get down into the demons, and the only thing that can really help us with that is God, y'all. Get into your Bible, get into your word. He is the only one who can basically free you of all of those demons, some that we've accrued in our lives, and some of them we were born into. But regardless, we are responsible to get ourselves right. We can't blame our parents, we can't blame others. We can only blame ourselves for allowing those demons to grow out of control. But that's just my opinion. And remember, in my commentary, I'm always going to talk about God, because literally God is in everything. It doesn't matter what we're talking about. God can fit into everything. God has blessed me. He has blessed me with so many things. So I would never not talk about him because I don't know who's watching these videos. These videos can get to somebody who really needs to know, who the real God is, capital G. Okay. All right. So the truth, however, is that Cassie, Miss Cassandra Ventura, okay, was held down by Mr. Combs and endured over a decade of his volatile behavior and disturbed demands. Okay, for Miss Ventura, the dark times were those she spent trapped by Mr. Combs in a cycle of mistreatment, guys. And I will be changing the words and the lingo in here to fit the narrative of this channel. We like to be family friendly, but we also like to be informative, so we're just letting you guys know the tea. Okay, all right. So Mr. Combs in a cycle of mistreatment. Okay, and she even talked about the ST, y'all. I can't say the words, but y'all know what's up. Okay, so first and foremost, they said that Mr. Combs actually, or Miss Ventura, she was, basically not willing in all of the intimate encounters that happened between she and Mr. Combs. Okay, I will be rewording this. Okay, that's what we doing. Often, basically mistreated her physically. Okay, and that does mean bruises. That does mean things happened, okay, that she wore after the situations, okay. He, basically, okay. It was also rumors that a guy that might have been interested in her, his car, basically, allegedly went up in flames, if you will. I don't think he was in it, but yeah, okay. Found Miss Ventura, basically she would make her engage in intimate acts with other people that she did not know, okay. Um, let me see. Basically introduced her to a life of alcohol and other activities. Okay, that's what she said. Okay, so Miss Ventura and Mr. Combs in 2005, when she met in 2005 when she was just 19 and he was 37. Okay, he signed her to his label, Bad Boy Records, and within a few years, uh, it says he lured Miss Ventura into some fast-paced lifestyle, if you will. Okay, again, if you want to look up the actual documentations, you can go and look them up yourself. All right. Let's see. Okay, her boss, one of the most powerful men in the entertainment industry. Basically, she entered into a relationship with him, and that was her boss and everything. Mr. Combs asserted complete control over Miss Ventura's personal and professional life. Okay, and she basically said that she could not escape him. Okay. All right. So she said throughout their relationship, Mr. Combs was prone to uncontrollable rage. I have seen him enraged in just his shows. He had a show, I think it was called Making the Band, and he would go off on people. And some of this stuff was actually documented. Like his temper is like, and then several people have said, who talks about him. Of course, they say he's talented, he's this, he's that, but he also has a temper. Okay. So some of the situations that happened between he and Cassie was also witnessed by his staff. Okay. That's what it said. Okay. So basically after him, I'm reading and I'm just rewording it. Okay. Basically after he would do these acts, these horrendous acts or whatever, the physical manipulation and all of that, he would actually like basically love bomb her. He would give her gifts. He would, because to be honest, she wanted the life. Okay. She wanted to be rich. I mean, really, to be honest, if you coming from nothing, I hate to say it, especially if you're a person who feels like money is everything. right? If you're coming from like a situation where, you're coming from nothing, you want money, you're coming from a regular situation, and then you have this rich guy come to you and basically say that he can take you here and take you there, and you just have a different life. Some women would just, sacrifice their own well-being to live better, right? But how is that living better, right? I myself, I don't understand that. I guess because I was built different. You know what I mean? I have seen physical altercations before. I did not like that. I couldn't even really watch What's Love Got to Do with It because of those scenes. That's not something I wanted to see, much less go through. Hold on, y'all. Okay. So basically, what this is saying is basically that he would completely like control her and remind her basically where her fountain of life was. Basically saying that look, he provides everything for her. He would remind that if you don't do X, Y, and Z, that this can happen and things like that. Okay. All right, so let me go through. They have a section called parties. Plaintiff Cassandra Ventura is a resident of the U.S. Let's see. Child, I thought they were about to talk about his darn parties that are like so famous. I just heard they talking about the parties like the people involved in this lawsuit, y'all. Um, But you know what? Okay, so if you want to see that, if you want to read that on your own time. I'm just going to go back into my mental Rolodex and think about all of the times that I would see Cassie and him together, and she would just not seem happy. You know what I mean? She would not seem happy. She seemed a little timid. She didn't have a voice. It was like she was just some type of eye candy for him, or like a trophy. He would just wear her on his arm, and he was the man and he's the man. And during this whole time of their relationship, he also was with Kim Porter. Okay, he was with Kim Porter, and Kim Porter had to see him with not just one woman, two women, high profile relationships, J Lo and Cassie, and she held him down, had his children, and he just basically, squandered that relationship. And I just feel like he is incapable, and he has said himself, he is incapable of basically loving one person. He doesn't even necessarily love himself, or he may not even know what love is. It's kind of funny how he named himself Brother Love, but he doesn't know what love is. Sometimes we can be so deep into the life, whatever life that is, whether it's fame, whether it's, just being very rich. I mean, he's filthy rich and things like that. And he kind of lost his human side, if you will, like in one of his in one of his interviews on the Breakfast Club, the most recent one, he was dropping a new album, and he said, I want souls, and I just felt like, well, that sounds a little off. You know what I mean? It sounds a little creepy, that he wants souls and things like that. I just feel so hold on, guys. Okay, I just feel so like I feel for her because not only is she going through this now, she has her husband that has to go through it. Of course, and her husband is supporting her and supporting her doing this, which I think is great, But it just seems like this is the time where a lot of skeletons are coming out of closets for these big name people. I mean, and some skeletons probably were not necessarily the true. Some of them were set up, some of them were manipulated stories. I do believe that, but some of the stories have some truth to them. And there's this thing called discernment. Sometimes we just have to have discernment, you know what I mean? Now the case with like Bill Cosby and things like that, do I believe all of those stories? No. R. Kelly, a little bit more. Puff Daddy, a lot more. Why? Because it just shows. You can just kind of tell that this man is very controlling. There were stories of him actually being intimate with one of his current girlfriends, but still worried about what Kim Porter was doing. Kim Porter could never move on. We used to always say on the outside, why don't she move on? Why don't she have another man? This man is obviously not into her. Why does she want to stay with him? And we said the same thing about Cassie. Probably said the same thing about J Lo. J Lo has been very quiet. She has never said anything about this man, and probably will never. But we can assume that this is a pattern with all of his love interests, all of his girlfriends. You know what I mean? And of course, he's with Young Miami right now, and we're like, okay, what's going on with that? I'm sure it's probably not as bad as it was back in the day because this is a new day and time, and Young Miami is a different woman. And sometimes what some app users do to one, they may do it in different ways. They may try to get more slick about it, you know. But we always wonder why Kim Porter wouldn't move on. Well, she couldn't move on because there are stories out there saying that he would kind of make it difficult for her to move on. He had keys to her home. He would just come there. Is stories of things getting physical with them as well in a volatile way. And so this is literally a pattern. And I just hope, to be honest, okay, money aside, fame aside, I hope that for number one, that he gets the help that he needs. Obviously, he needs help. He's hurting. Something happened, and he has not dealt with the demons that um obviously is still in him. Okay. Secondly, and not even least, with Miss Cassie, whatever she is saying that has happened within those documentation, and if it is true and it's all alleged at this point, we pray that she also gets delivered, that she gets the help that she needs, and the outcome that she deserves with this situation. I don't feel like that, oh, because someone has money or fame, that they should not pay for what they do. I don't believe that. I believe that you're going to get your just due, whether it be on this physical earth or when you leave this earth. But you will basically, your karma, or your basically what's due to you will be due to you. And God says, vengeance is mine. Vengeance is his. So it's not our duty to go around and try to um give justice and get people back for what they've done and things like that, because God has our back on that. But just understand, everything is going to happen the way it's going to happen. And so right now, because this is all up in the air, we don't know if it's true. Um, we don't know what's going to happen. And so this is probably going to be a long road. Diddy is probably I mean, she has to be brave. She has to be, have a case, kind of, sort of, if you will, because you have to understand, Diddy's a billionaire. There and there, if he's not already, okay? And a lot of people would never, if they didn't have receipts, if they didn't have proof, if they didn't have kind of like an entourage to go with them, they wouldn't even try to even do this. Okay, because they wouldn't have a leg to stand on, because of course if you have money, you'll be able to afford, better money. The person who has the money has the power on this earth. Sometimes that's how it goes. So the fact that she's actually done this says that there may be some legs to this. I don't know. And just me being a person who has kind of looked at Diddy, and I am, I'm a fan of his music, fan of his work. But if you need help, you need help. I mean, we all need help. And so this has gone way too far and way too long. And so we'll just see how it works out, see how it pans out. Either way, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate because there's children involved. It's unfortunate because, fans are probably like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? I don't know. A lot of people are affected. This is the year where things are revealed and things like that. So let's hope that justice for whoever is served, and we pray that this situation is solved. Okay, and just know that it's not going to be easy. Okay, and let's see if it even grows legs, because sometimes things can happen, can start, and then the whole bottom falls out. All right, so I don't want to take up any more of you guys' time. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.